All right, you guys, let's get started. My name is Hannah, and this is High Rise Yoga. So, welcome if you're joining us. Let's start in an easy seated position on your mat, crossing your ankles underneath your knees. Go ahead and start the playlist. Let's breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Just beginning to center yourself and prepare for the day. And today we're really going to focus on just really acknowledging that we're halfway through the year. Today's the summer solstice, and it's actually the longest day of the year. And so with it just being the halfway point, it's a good time to reset and to acknowledge where you've come this year, but also where you want to go and what's leading you. So take a deep breath in and exhale out. I'm going to start with our prayer. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for this time on our mats. Thank you for just this year, all the highs and the lows and all the craziness. But we thank you. We thank you for our life. We thank you for this day. And we look forward to what you have next for us. So let this be a time to connect with you, our minds, our body, our spirit. And let us just be a form of worship. In your name we pray. Amen. So I'm going to start with our scripture that we have today. And I'm reading from Genesis from the ESV Bible, 1:14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be signs and seasons." And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons." In our seated pose here, expanding up through the crown of the head, placing our hands on our knees here, we're going to inhale, rocking forward into the seated cat. And then exhale, rounding through our back, pulling the belly in. Inhale, drawing the shoulder blades back, looking up. And then exhale, rounding through the spine, beginning to loosen up. Really flow with your breath here. Waking up the body, getting it ready for something new. And then come back to center here. We're going to move here onto our hands and knees. Wrists are under the shoulders and knees are under the hips. And we're going to extend the right leg straight out with the foot flexed down. Engage in the core. Holding it here. Engage the glutes. Neck is neutral. And then exhale, bring the knee into the chest, rounding through the spine. And then inhale, leg out. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, leg out. And exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, leg out. And then exhale the knee down on the mat. We're going to do the opposite side here. Inhaling the left leg straight up, flexing the foot down. Engaging the core, engage the glutes. Waking up the lower body, the upper body. You're pressing in to all 10 fingers. And then exhale, knee to chest here. Really round through the spine as you do so. Inhale, straighten the leg out, flexing the foot. And exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straight out. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straight out. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straight out. And then exhale the knee down to the mat. Spread the knees out wide. Press the heels back towards your hips. Walk out the hands. Press into child's pose here. With everything happening this year, let's just take a moment to just come to our mats, to center ourselves with the Lord. And I want you to think of all of the things that have happened to you this year. And I want you to think of the good things that have happened. Maybe even some memories that aren't so happy you might come to mind. I want you to see something that is good that happened from that situation, from that scenario. Let's find gratitude when we reflect. And then inhale, come back up onto hands and knees here. We're gonna tilt our hips back and then come into our downward facing dog here. Heels to the mat, feet are out about hip width apart. And all 10 fingers pedaling out the heels here, rocking from side to side. Can you lengthen from the wrists up through the shoulders and then shoot energy down through the backs of your legs out to the heels. Our first down dog of the day. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend through your knees and slowly walk towards the top of your mat here, ragdolling, grabbing your elbows, swaying from side to side. Shaking your head, yes. Shaking your head, no. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Again, swaying from side to side. We're gonna do a lot of sun salutations today, with it being the summer solstice. Remembering that God made the sun, made the stars, and he gave us signs for the seasons, signs for the times. Remembering that every day that the sun rises, we have a new start. And as this is the halfway mark, it's time for a new start going forward. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head, imagining the sun coming up as you do so. And then exhaling your hands down to prayer, heart center. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head, and then exhale, swan dive down, slowly hinging from your hips here. Inhale, come up halfway, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend through the knees as you come up, arms out wide. And then exhaling them back down to heart center. Inhale in positivity, a new beginning. Exhale, forward fold, swan diving down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. You're a rising sun. And then exhaling your hands back to heart center. Inhale your hands out, up and over your head. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Placing your hands on the mat, step back into plank pose, or you could do knee down plank. And we're gonna lower through chaturanga, pulling our elbows in towards our sides through 5 counts on the exhale, starting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just press up into baby cobra this time. Your legs are pressing into the tops of the mat. Tops of the feet are pressing in. You're pulling your shoulders off the mat. Heart is coming up. And then if you can, lift your fingers off the mat here. Wiggle them around. Breathe into the belly, engage the glutes, and then exhale. Press back into downward facing dog. Nicely done. I'm wearing this yellow shirt today for our summer solstice to represent the sun. Sometimes it's fun just to do fun things My pants are also blue with stars on them, reminding us of the stars in the sky, reminding us of the sun and the moon. Inhale, the right leg straight up in a three-legged dog here, big stretch. And then stack the hips on top of each other, open the right hip over to the right side. Really opening up over there on the right-hand side, and then rotate the knee in the clockwise fashion. Remembering to breathe here, and then go the opposite direction. Inhale, right leg straight up, and then exhale, knee in the chest. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, knee to chest. Placing the foot beside the right hand. Back foot at 45. Come up into warrior one here. Bending through the front knee. Scissoring those hips. Engaging the core. And then tilting the pelvis down a bit. Nicely done. We're going to place our hands into our heart center here into prayer pose. And then we're going to straighten the front leg as we extend our arms out, up and over our head, coming up. And then exhale, bringing them back down to heart center as we bend back through the knee here. Inhale, straighten through the leg, arms out, up and overhead. And bend through the knee as you bring hands back to heart center. Inhale, straighten through the leg. Exhale, bend through the knee, hearts at heart center. Inhale, straighten through the leg. And then bend through the knee, back to heart center. One more time. Inhale, your arms out, up and overhead. And then exhale, bend through the knee here, back to heart center. We're going to move into our warrior three position. So we're going to start to bring that back left foot up closer to our right. As we're bending through the front knee, we're shifting all of our weight into our right foot. Hands are still at heart center here. And you can leave that back left foot kickstanded on the mat here. Or if it's in your practice, keep that front bent knee, but you can raise that back foot off the mat as you tilt even further, bouncing on that right leg. And the back left foot, if it's extended up in the air, should be facing straight down, flexing through the foot. Warrior three. Gaze straight down, focusing on something that's not moving. It's okay if you're wobbly. And then exhale, bringing the left toes up to meet the right toes. Heels out wide. We're going to bend in through our chair pose with the knees touching here. Tilt the pelvis down into a nice chair. Hands are still at our heart center in our prayer pose. Beautiful. Now we're going to move into eagle pose here. What we're going to do is inhale the arms straight out to the sides. And this time we're going to bring our right arm underneath our left, wrapping at the elbow and then at the wrist here into our nice eagle. And then we're going to inhale our left leg straight up and then exhale, wrap it around the side of our right leg here. Bending into this nice eagle. And if you can't wrap the left foot all the way around, you can kickstand it on the outside of the right foot. Can you pull the elbows away from your body, up towards the sky? Balancing here. And then if it's in your practice, we're going to hinge forward. Well, first we're going to unravel our left leg. And then we're going to extend it back out into that warrior three here, keeping our hands twisted at eagle into a full expression of warrior three with eagle arms. So left leg is extended out or it's kickstanding on the mat, whatever works best for you. Holding here, engaging the core, Flexing through the back left foot for balance. And then step back into warrior one here. So back foot's at 45 degrees, bending through that front knee. You are still at eagle arms here. And then exhale, bring the arms up over your head as you tilt the back, looking up towards the sky. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, unravel the arms, come back into warrior one here. Bending to the front knee. Nicely done. Beautiful job. Exhaling the hands down to the mat. Step back through plank. You can lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog here. Beautiful job. Nicely done. Walking out your heels. Being thankful for your body, thankful for this day. Thank you for the sunrise and the sunset. Inhale the left leg straight up here, three-legged dog. Big stretch up to the sky. And then stacking the hips on top of each other, open up to the left side, bending through the knee. And then begin to rotate the knee clockwise and counterclockwise. Inhale, left leg straight up. And exhale, bring it into the chest. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, knee to chest. And then placing left foot by the left hand. Move into your warrior one on the left side, bending to the front knee. Back foot at 45 degrees here. Warrior one here. Nicely done. Hips are square to the front of the room. And then exhaling the hands down to heart center here. We're gonna do those sun salutations on the left side. So inhaling the straight left leg, arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, arms down to heart center, bending to that front knee. Inhale, arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, bending, hearts at center. Inhale, arms out, up and over your head, straight leg. Exhale, bending through heart center. Inhale, your arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, bending, heart center. Inhale, arms out, up and over your head. And then exhale, bending at heart center here. Nicely done. Beautiful job. Getting ready here for our warrior three here. Hands are at heart center. We're going to bring that right leg up a little bit more. We're bending to that front knee. We're putting all of our weight into our left foot. And then if it's in your practice, extend the right back foot up into a full expression of warrior three, flexing through the back right foot for balance. Can you hinge forward even further? Eyes down at the ground, focusing on something that's not moving. You can keep a bend in that front knee here for balance. And then exhale, bring the toes together, heels out wide, bend through your chair here. Again, arms at heart center, tuck the pelvis down. Nicely done. This time we're gonna do eagle arms with the opposite. So extend up, feet out straight in front of you. Inhale the arms out to a T. This time we're gonna cross, bringing the left under the right and wrapping at the elbows and then at the wrists. You want your hands straight up if possible. And now we're going to inhale our right leg straight up towards our chest, and then exhale, wrap it around the left. And again, the goal is to wrap the right foot around the left calf, and you're bending through the legs. If this is not in your practice today, you can kickstand the right foot over down by the outer left foot edge. Can you bend even further? Pulling those elbows away. from your chest and up towards the sky, trying to keep straight hands. Beautiful job. And now what we're gonna do is unwrap that right leg and extend it back into warrior three as we hinge forward, keeping those eagle arms here. Nicely done. Flex through the back right foot. Can you square your hips so that there's like two flashlights coming out of the front hips, facing straight down towards the mat? And then exhale, step back to warrior one here, bending through that front left knee, back foot at 45 degrees. You're still in eagle arms. And then exhale, bringing your hands up over your head, tilting to the back, head looking up. Nicely done. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, unravel the arms. Bring the arms out, up over your head into warrior one here. Bend through the front knee. And then exhale, the hands on the mat. Step back through plank. We're gonna lower through chaturanga through 5 counts, starting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press in the up dog or baby cobra. Knees are off the mat if you're in up dog. And then exhale, press back, downward facing dog here. Big inhale, big exhale. Bring the knees down to the mat, out wide, toes touching, press the heels back towards the hip bones, and walk into child's pose here. Letting the head fall on the mat, letting go and letting God. So we've been talking about our past, but let's talk about what's happening next, what God has next for us. I want you to imagine right now the rest of the year. And at this time in December, if I were to ask you, what was the best thing that happened between the halfway point and the end of the year? And if all of your wildest dreams could come true, just imagine what that would be. Imagine yourself doing it, or imagine the feeling. Just want you to think about that right now. Envision that. We say yes and amen to all of your promises, God. Inhale, come back up onto hands and knees here. Curl your toes under, press back into downward facing dog. Pedaling up the heels. Inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet, bend through the knees, and slowly walk towards the top of the mat here. Again, hanging from side to side. You can sway, letting your arms just go heavy and loose. Almost letting them come around and slap the backs of your calves. Inhale, come up halfway, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. And then exhaling them out and then back to heart center. We're gonna do our sun salutation V series. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. Exhale, bending down through chair pose, bringing your hands to heart center. Tucking the pelvis. Tilting the pelvis a bit. And then exhale, forward fold. Swaying from side to side. Inhale, come up halfway. Pull the shoulders away, flat back. And then exhale, step back through plank. Lower down through chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right leg forward, back foot at 45, come into warrior one here. Bend through the front knee, hips are square, engage the core, arms are engaged. Nicely done. Exhale the hands down, step back through plank, lower through chaturanga, elbows into the sides. Inhale, come up halfway, or excuse me, up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg forward. Warrior one, back foot at 45, grounding into the mat, bend to the front knee, engage the core, scissor the hips. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale the hands down, step back through plank, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Knees are off the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale, step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back into the chair pose, hands at heart center. Can you squat even lower? Bend even lower into the chair. Knees are not over the toes. Engage the core, tilt the pelvis. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. And then exhaling them back to heart center. Again with our breath. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. Exhaling them back to heart center. Exhaling down into chair pose. Breathing here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward, warrior one. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back through plank, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg forward, warrior one. Exhale, the hands down to the mat. Step back through plank, lower through chaturanga. Whew. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Hands at heart center. Bending through the knees, wiggle the toes, engage the core. Extend out through the crown of the head. Inhale, your arms out, up and overhead. And exhale them back down to heart center. One more time. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Exhaling them back to heart center. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step back into plank. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward. Warrior one. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg forward. Warrior one here. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back through plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step or hop forward. Come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. And then exhale your arms out, up and overhead, and back to heart center. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog here. And in child's pose, knees out wide, toes touching, hips to heels. Walking the hands out, letting the forehead fall on the mat. Can you let your chest fall down towards the mat and grow heavy? Tippy toe your hands out in front of you to get more of a stretch in your shoulders. Or you can bend through your elbows, putting your hands in a prayer pose, and then bending them back so that the hands are right behind the back of the neck here. As you do so, sink lower into the hips, lower into the mat, and just let go. Let God. Inhale, come back to hands and knees here. Tucking the toes, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg straight up. And then exhale, bring it forward, warrior one here. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. Nicely done. Hips are square. And now what we're gonna do is exhale our hands down to heart center. We're gonna do a twisted warrior one. So we're gonna take our left elbow to our right knee here, keeping our hands together in prayer. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, twisting over to the right side, really bending through that front knee. Make sure that the elbows aren't stacked on top of each other. You really want to twist from your belly button. And if you can, keep the back foot on the ground at 45 degrees. But if it's not in your practice, you can come up onto the ball of the back left foot, almost like a crescent lunge. Big twist here. Can you bend even further into the knee? We're wringing out all of this past year, all the past 6 months. We're preparing for something new. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale, step the back foot forward, bring the toes together, knees out wide, let the knees touch, bend through chair pose in this twisted chair. Now you want the knees to be about even with each other. You'll notice that one knee will knock further out than the other. Try to keep them level. Big twist. And then extend up through the legs. Release the arms, exhale, forward fold here. Swaying from side to side. Bending your head, just grow heavy. Shaking it yes, shaking it no. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. Big sun solution. And then exhale, arms out to the sides and back to heart center. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. And then exhale, forward fold here. Placing the hands on the mat, step back into plank and lower through chaturanga. Inhale, come up into upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg straight up. Extend up to the sky. And then exhale, bring it forward into our warrior one here. Coming up, engage the core. Hips are square. Arms are engaged. And then exhale the hands back to prayer here. We're gonna do that twist on the opposite side. If you are feeling out of balance, you can always shorten your stance too. But bending through that front knee, back leg at 45, hands back to heart center to prayer pose. Big inhale and exhale, we're gonna twist. Elbow down to the knee. Your one line of energy from the ankle up through the leg, through the elbows, straight up through the left elbow here. And again, really twist from the belly. Inhale and exhale, twist. And again, if we're struggling a bit to keep that back foot on the ground at 45, you can come up to the ball of the back foot here. Let's lengthen through the spine, bend through the front knee. It's okay if one side is a little bit more wobbly than the other. And then inhale the right toe up to meet the left toe, heels out wide here. Again, knees are together. We're gonna squat through this twisted chair pose. Can you squat even more? And then bring the belly off of the thighs and then twist even more over to the left side. Again, we don't want to become lazy where our belly is just flopping onto our thighs here. We really want to engage the core as we're twisting. Breathing here. And then exhale, straighten through the knees. Release the arms, forward fold. And hanging from side to side. Letting it go. Feet are out about hip width apart. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. Sunrise to a new day. And then exhaling the hands down to heart center. Inhale your arms out, up and over your head. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Placing the hands on the mat, step back into plank. Lower through chaturanga, elbows in tight. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog here. Inhale, step up to the top of the mat here. Big inhale, up halfway. And then exhale, forward fold. Now what we're gonna do as we're in this forward fold here is we're gonna take our two peace fingers and place them on around our left foot here. And then we're gonna shift our way over into the right side. And I'm gonna face you guys. You're gonna extend your hand out just a couple, maybe like a foot or two in front of your right foot. And shifting our way into our right foot here, you're going to inhale the left leg out to the side. Exhale, inhale out to the side. So it's a nice glute activation. Inhale out to the side. Inhale out to the side. Inhale out to the side. Nicely done. Release. Now what we're gonna do is we're still in this forward fold here. You're gonna take your right leg right behind your left leg here. And now you're gonna walk your hands over towards the left side. You can bend through that front left knee, but try to keep the back right leg straight. This is a nice stretch on your legs, on the side body here. And then really try to walk your hands over to the left side. Big inhale, big exhale. Now on the exhale, walk your hands back to center and then untwist the legs here. We're gonna do the opposite side. So again, with our peace fingers on our right hand, we're going to take them around our big right toe. And now taking your left hand, walk it out about a foot or so in front of your left foot. Shifting our way into the left side, we're gonna inhale the right leg straight out, exhale it down. Inhale straight out, exhale 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 down. Nicely done. Now hands are out in front of us. We're gonna extend the back left foot behind the right, out to the side here, bending through that right leg. Now we're gonna walk our hands over to the right side here to get that nice side stretch. Again, you can bend through the right knee. The goal is to kind of keep the back left leg straight. This is a really nice stretch for your glutes. And exhale, hands back to center, and then untwist the legs here. Forward fold. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Big stretch up to the sky. Exhaling them down to heart center. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Big sun salutation. Exhaling them, bend back down to heart center. One more time. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Big stretch up towards the sky. Exhaling them down to heart center. Inhale your arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Stepping back into our downward facing dog here. And now bringing your knees down to tabletop. And then coming onto the side of your hip here, pressing your legs out in front of you. We're gonna move down onto our backs. Inhale, the hands up in front, like you're holding a beach ball. We're gonna engage the core as we lower down through 5 counts, starting 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Huge stretch out, bringing your hands up over your head here. Stretch up towards the back of the wall. And now we're gonna walk our feet over to the left side on the outer side of our mat here, placing our right leg on top of our left ankle here. And now we're gonna walk our hands and our arms over to the left side as well. And we're gonna clasp our right hand with our left, really to get a side stretch over in the right outer side of the body. This is called banana asana. And it's yellow, which makes me think of the sun. So that's why we're doing it. We're also counter stretching all of the side stretches and twists that we were doing. Breathe in through your belly. You should feel a nice stretch in the upper part of your right shoulder and thoracic. And then slowly walk your legs back to center. Bring your hands back to the center. And then exhale, walk the legs out to the right side. This time placing the left leg on top of the right ankle. And now we're gonna walk our hands and arms out over to the right side, this time clasping your left hand, your left wrist with your right hand. And then just imagine that your body is looking like a moon sliver, representing the stars, the moon, the signs in the sky. With a new day, that also means there's a night. So remembering that every day we start new, and although maybe we've gone through some darkness, that there's always a new day ahead. And you just let your body sink into this position. And then exhale, walking the hands back to center and also the legs. Inhale, the knees up towards the chest. And we're gonna rock from side to side, releasing any tension from our back. Rock and roll back and forth. And do what feels good for you. Inhale, both knees up towards the chest. This time we're gonna exhale the left leg out on the mat. Inhale the right knee into the chest even more, and then exhale, twist over to the left side. Extend the right arm out into a T, and then gently look over your right fingertips. Gaze is light. Really breathe into the belly to release those toxins. Inhale the right knee back towards the chest. And then exhale it out on the mat. Inhale the left knee up towards the chest, hug it in tight. And then exhale, twist over to the right side. Extending the left arm out to the side, gently look over the left fingertips here. Big belly breath. Thinking back to that vision that you had earlier where you're imagining the rest of your year, imagining what you were going to do, partnering with God on it. Right now, just imagine that you're wringing out all of the things that are holding you back. What's keeping you right now from doing that thing, from making that vision a reality? And just imagine as we are wringing out our insides right now, we're just wringing out our body from all of those obstacles that are keeping us from moving forward in the vision that God has given us. Inhale the left knee back towards your chest. And then exhale, lengthen it out long on the mat. Inhale, both knees up towards the chest here. And grabbing your big toes with your two peace fingers, move into happy baby. Bring the knees down towards the armpits. Rolling from side to side. Extend one leg and then the other. And then releasing. Bring the feet down towards the mat and pull the heels up towards the sit bones. We're going to move into bridge pose. So tilting the pelvis so that the back is flat to the mat. We're going to place our hands down at our sides, palms facing down. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale, lift the tush off of the ground. Press the belly up towards the sky here into a nice bridge pose. Imagine that you're holding a block between your knees. And then if it's in your practice, begin to walk your hands underneath your sit bones. And then you can clasp your hands and press into the mat with your forearms to lengthen your belly up towards the sky even more. Big inhale, big exhale. And then on the exhale, lower one vertebrae at a time back onto the mat. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side here. We're going to do that one more time. Bring the heels up towards the hips. Tilt the pelvis so that the back is flush to the mat. Placing your hands at your sides, palms facing down here. Big inhale, big exhale. Inhale the belly up towards the sky. Imagine you're holding those blocks between your knees. And then beginning to walk your hands underneath your sit bones, really pressing in. Can you walk those heels even closer towards your hands here to get more of a lift? And then roll the shoulders under, pressing the belly up towards the sky. And then lowering back onto your mat one vertebrae at a time. Again, windshield wipering from left to right, your knees. And then inhale the knees back towards the chest here. Squeeze super tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, lengthen out on the mat here. Feet are out wider than the mat. They're splaying out towards the sides. Rolling those shoulders under. Shaking your head yes and no to release tension from the neck. And then placing your hands out at your sides, palms facing up. Coming to this final resting pose. Letting your feet grow heavy. Your legs are sinking into the mat. Your belly is releasing and not clenching. Letting your chest grow heavy. Your arms are sinking into the mat. Your shoulders are light. Your face is relaxed. Your eyes are closing down into this final resting pose, Shavasana, ultimate surrender pose. Release. Begin to wiggle your toes. Wiggle your hands. Those who live at the ends of the earth stand in awe of your wonders. From where the sun rises to where it sets, you inspire shouts of joy. Psalm 65:8. A big full body stretch overhead, awakening to this new day, the symbolism that God is giving us a new start every single day. And all we have to do is just come back to Him to start anew. When ready, roll over onto whatever side feels good, using your forearm as a nice pillow. And then inhale, press up into an easy seated position. Cross-legged, ankles are underneath. And we thank you, Jesus, for this practice. We thank you for this time on our mats. And we look forward to what you have next for us in the rest of this year. Amen. Inhale your arms out, up, and over your head. And then exhale them back down to heart center. You guys, the teacher in me honors the teacher in all of you. So thank you for coming. And we will end our practice today saying Jaimasi, which means victory of the Messiah. So Jaimasi, my friends. Jaimasi friends, thanks for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed today's practice. Thanks for coming today for this sun salutation series. Hope you enjoyed it, and I would love for you to hit subscribe or like to help me get more views and to share with friends and family. So thanks so much and see you soon. Bye. Jaimasi.